Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, June 29th, 2026. Let's take a look at the charts. We have this 1 year plus channel bottom that actually contained the late March lows earlier this year. We're right back at it again after almost testing. We pushed within 1% of this channel top. I call this a test at 440.28 about a month and a half ago. And it really is this wedge right now that we are trading inside of. 3 to 5 week swing traders, this is a setup for buying really the mid 360s, low 370s. I'll get to the low 370s in a moment, up into the low 440s, and vice versa, selling the low 440s, anticipating then bearish rotation into the mid 360s and climbing. Both of these are obviously changing on a weekly basis. At some point, the market is going to close outside of this range and tip its hand directionally in the respective direction. If we do close this week, and I really want to say Friday, a Friday settlement at 360.67 on the weekly chart or lower, 1% below this channel bottom at 364.01 is our indication for longer-term bearish continuation. Within 3 to 5 weeks or less, 309.98 is likely. This is the descending channel bottom that could contain monthly selling pressures. We could come off of these lows here nicely for a few weeks, but I do think as time plays out, as we move through the rest of the year, you should allow 226.69 in your calculations as a possible by the end of the year objective, with a weekly settlement at 360.67 or lower. Now, a daily settlement of the same is actionable. It becomes much more clear-cut, more reliable with the weekly settlement at 360.67 or lower. Let's actually, while we're talking downside, let's talk support. We do have 370.23. That is a descending channel bottom that did contain also last Friday's low, also Thursdays and Wednesdays. We spiked below it just a bit on Friday. It has this area contained selling so far, as it did a few weeks ago. And from here, we can round up into the 440s perhaps over the next 3 to 5 weeks. But on the way up, there is a descending channel top at 424.42 that I bumped up to a 3-star weekly resistance. I think it deserves that after this channel support winds up holding for the last few weeks. This is an area that is suited for containing weekly activity. And is it an objective right now? I think you can play that, as I've been saying. If you've been bottom picking this support zone late last week, this is, I think, your holdout over the next 2 to 3 weeks. You could also hold out for the low 440s, as I said from the beginning of this video. That is more of a 3 to 5 week objective and would, of course, require a violation of the 424.42 level. If you're a long-term position player, you know, where your trades are 3 to 5 weeks and out, you could consider 424.42 the beginning of a wide zone up to 440.28, where you scale into or scale out of a long position, scale into a short position perhaps, anticipating then bearish rotation back into the 360s, 370s perhaps. But bottom line, closing above 440.28 in the coming weeks is a buy signal of equal magnitude to a sell signal closing below 364.01. I would expect within 3 to 5 weeks, 498.83, that December 25 all-time high, and within 3 to 5 months or less, 545.06, which is a 6-year rising channel top, believe it or not, on the weekly chart. Let's jump to the downside just a little bit. I do want to point out that if we break, I'm going to go with 364.01. Now, 360.67 is a marker. It's 1% below 364.01. They sometimes act as support and resistance unto themselves, but it really is 358.24 that I want to bring your attention to. If we break 364.01, 358.24 just might contain selling pressures for the balance of the day. And as long as we then close back at 364.01 or higher, we fend off a meaningful sell signal, at least on an intra-week basis. If we do close, though, below 358.24, we've closed obviously below all this significant support. We've closed below the 1% zone. So 358.24, at least I think for Monday, is your aggressive downward continuation point. 337.24, which is that April low area, that would become, you know, with heightened volatility, this could be within 1 to 2 days. days. It could also take into later week, and that's where I will leave it because at that point in time, by Friday, I'll begin talking that if we close the week at 360.67 or lower, you should anticipate 309.98 and dropping as a 3 to 5 week target, and potentially by the end of the year, 226.69.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVDA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity.
Start your 2-week free trial and trade with clarity from day one.
Let's talk upside here. Assuming we hold the 364.01, 370.23 region, I do want to also point out that we put out a key reversal low on Friday. We broke to a new low following the May high, and we closed above Thursday's high by a degree. And so we do have a key reversal low on the books, a bullish engulfing pattern in candlestick speak. 381.59 is that low settlement price from a few weeks ago. I see that still as an upward pivot point. If we can open above it, I do see 409.50 today. I don't think so. That's quite a rally. But I will say that if we can close now above 381.59, if you've yet to bottom pick this 360s, 370s support, that could be your indication for 409.50 over the next 3 to 5 days. 409.50 can contain daily buying pressures when tested. It is very stair-step here. I am waiting for 24.42 as a weekly 3-star resistance, as I've already said, where we could top out on a weekly basis and even fall away from here into later July. And you could also consider it the beginning of a wide, significant zone of longer-term resistance up to 440.28 that can contain buying on a monthly basis, and from here fall back into the 360s. So once again, this is the wedge to follow. If we close below this by a 1% margin, look out below. If we close above 440.28, we'll probably throw a 1% on that as well, because it is now a spanned 6 months of activity. Then 545.06 by the end of the year. It's about as simple as that, and I am going to leave it at that for Monday's Daily Tesla Report. You have a great day.